with all this talk of Eubank versus Ben too, which I don't know. I'd be open to see. I was gonna say be open to see. I would be open to see the rematch, but I think for both guys, it's financially it's better for them to have the rematch. But for both guys, it's better for them to move on. Chris Eubank Jr. may already be looking at moving on. Chris Eubank Jr. slams Scummy's lowlife Billy Joe Saunders. Chris Eubank Jr. has called for a rematch with Billy Joe Saunders. I'm going to read this off Pro Boxing Fan on this website. So it says, Chris Eubank Jr. has had some choice words for his former opponent Billy Joe Saunders following last month's drama at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Saunders was sent by Team Conor Benn to inspect Eubank's hand wrap before their grudge match on April 26th. However, he was refused entry by Next Gen's imposing manager Napper. And big up to him every time. He's good mates with that, eh? A heated back and forth ensued, which quickly went viral on social media, and it had fans clamouring for a rematch between the Brighton man and Billy Joe Saunders. Over a decade after their British title clash, Eubank has finally broken his silence on the altercation, and it's clear there is no love lost. He told Diary of a CEO podcast that he would be happy to run it back with his long-time foe. He says, and I quote, "There are very few people in boxing I genuinely dislike. He is one of those people. Not only is he a drug cheat, he actually is a really scummy human being, and I don't think anybody like this, and I don't talk about anybody like this. So if I'm saying this about him, there's a reason. He's a bad person, a terrible advocate for the sport, and a real low life human being. I don't say that about any of the guys I fought. I'm not even saying that about Conor. There's nothing to like about Billy Joe Saunders, and for that reason, I would love to get my hands on him." Billy Joe did clap back. I'll say that now in a sec, but well, I mean, if I had a son, I sure as hell wouldn't want him behaving like Billy Joe Saunders, to be honest with you. I mean, if he was half the fighter that Billy Joe was in the ring, then I'd be okay. That's all right. As a fighter, he was very good, but some of the things he's done outside the ring, I wouldn't be very happy if I had a son and he was behaving like that, quite frankly. But Billy Joe Saunders has stated that he is open to coming back for a rematch with Chris Eubank Jr. 11 years on from their first fight. To be honest, I'd use Eubank as a warm-up fight to become a 3-weight world champion. Based on the Ben fight, I wouldn't need a warm-up. The former 2-weight world champion, who has not boxed since his stoppage loss to Saul Canelo Alvarez back in May of 2021, also looks to be significantly far off. Oh God, I mean that's just the name of that's the name of the paper, not even the headline in it. He's significantly off, very much so, and would likely need one tune-up fight first. So that is what the article says. To be honest with you, yes, I do think that fight could potentially be box office if done right. Billy Joe Saunders, he looked about 240. Okay, maybe 230. He was a small middleweight. I want to put that in context. Dominic Ingle, his trainer, who he looked the best and most consistent with, even said, realistically, this guy probably should have started at 154, done something there, then gone to middleweight. He was never a big middleweight, and then he won a world title against something Sefa Asufi or something his name was, an absolute no-hoper in Stevenage Stadium back in 2019. So he got a soft touch for a WBO title. But that's basically what he got. He got a soft touch for a WBO title and became world champion, 2-time world champion. Defended it against Caracas, I think is that guy's name. He's really a career middleweight, but he's fought a super middleweight lately. He fought Berlanga. Actually, I thought he beat Berlanga a couple of years ago. But he fended it against him, didn't look good in that fight. And then he fought Martin Murray. Martin Murray had retired prior. He was meant to fight Martin Murray 2-3 years prior. He retired, he come back, and yeah, he did that. Then he got beat by Canelo and he's not been back. Alright, so Billy Joe, if he had, you gotta be so careful with Billy Joe because he's never getting down to 168 again. Eubank shouldn't be fighting at 160. Do it at 175 and let that be Eubank's swan song. Go and get revenge over the guy who took your, you're never going to get it over George Groves, you're never going to beat him. You did get it over Liam Smith, but you can maybe have a shot against Billy Joe. Billy Joe Saunders, as I said, a tremendous fighter. I wish he'd taken his career more seriously because I think he could have done a lot more than he did, and he could have had a lot better names on his resume than he does. But Billy Joe likes to eat and drink and do other things, and a lot of other things. And I think that even if he comes back now, and say he has one little 6 or an 8 rounder at cruiserweight, he gets the cobwebs off and he decides to fight Eubank, say in December time, just hypothetically, he probably gets stopped. Because Chris Eubank Jr. has seen better days, in my opinion. I don't think we definitely don't have a prime Eubank Jr., but I think he's really on the decline. But Billy Joe hasn't fought in 4 years and he's been out of shape for 4 of those years. It's not fixed. You can't just flick it on and then, I'm back to normal. Yeah, Chris Eubank Jr. is on the decline, but Billy Joe Saunders, I mean, he still had loads left in the tank after he lost to Canelo. He just chose to eat and drink and God only knows what else do. But would I watch the fight if it happened? Yeah, the build-up would be epic. It'd be entertaining. It'd be great fun. The fight itself probably wouldn't be crazy good, but you never know. I mean, you're talking about a Billy Joe with much horrible, probably depleted skills, and a Eubank who's maybe a bit more lively, being at maybe, well, it won't be at 168. They'd never even do, sorry if you can hear the ice cream van out front, by the way. He'd probably do it at 175. Man, Eubank would beat the living crap out of Billy Joe at this stage because he's been active, he's been in shape, he's been competing. Billy Joe has been eating. That's a big difference. So let me know your thoughts on what Chris Eubank Jr. said there. Now, doesn't like Billy Joe and puts him even below Conor Benn in terms of people. He says, look, there's not a one good thing you can say about Billy Joe. You can't even say that about Conor Benn. And believe me, there's no love lost between those two either. But he obviously has Conor Benn on a higher platform than Billy Joe. Kind of says it all. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. I hope you enjoyed the video, people. Smash the like button if you could. Subscribe as always if you haven't already. And until next time, peace.